all heard of fingerprint and iris scanners, facial recognition and other identification softwares. But do you know who makes them? Well, it's a French company called IDEMIA. The digital identification technology provider works with over 600 government organizations, over 2,300 corporates across 180 countries globally. Earlier today, I caught up with Jerome Ajdenbaum, the Vice President of Crypto and Digital Currencies at IDEMIA, to find out how IDEMIA works and the kind of impact they hope to create in the Indian market. Take a look. You know, earlier today at the event, you announced the launch of an offline retail CBDC solution for the Indian market. What is that solution, if you can elaborate on that?
So that's about offline payments. Again, being able to pay without a connection. That's really important for financial inclusion, because you don't have connection everywhere, or when you have connection, some people cannot afford the connection. So the idea is really the anytime, anywhere. But more than that, it's financial inclusion, it's for everyone. What we want to do is to be able not to leave some people behind. You know, smartphone penetration in India is like 46% of the population, meaning that more than half of the population do not have access to a smartphone. What do? Do we tell them, okay, you cannot pay in rupees? No. It should be available to everyone. So it means it should be available, of course, on a smartphone. We don't ban smartphones, of course, on a smartphone, but also with much cheaper devices. It should be available on a plastic card, on a biometric card. Biometric cards are great. You just put your fingerprint on the surface of the plastic and you get authenticated. And more to come. There will be some announcements, more to come in terms of the coverage of these low-cost devices, making it available for everyone.
Okay, so can you talk to us about the kind of partnerships that you've had, you know, for this solution? Who are the telecom partners or the payment gateway providers?
So on CBDC, it's about currency. So it's not something you can do alone. There needs to be an ecosystem, of course, under the auspices, under the guidance of the central bank, RBI in India, but there needs to be some partnerships. So we are partnering with a variety of suppliers, of partners. I can mention Ripple, a blockchain supplier, Bit, Polygon, MasterCard is one of our partners. We work a lot with the BIS, you know, the Bank for the International Settlement, this authority that federates all the central banks. So it's really important that there is an industry-wide effort to bring this to life.
All right. You know, Jerome, can you talk to us about the security considerations when it comes to implementing CBDC solutions? You know, privacy will be the defining factor for the success of a CBDC solution.
So the defining factors, there are two. One is security and the other is privacy. Let me explain why. Security, you know, usually I ask two very easy questions. Does your system, is there an interest in breaking into your system? So we are talking about cash. Do you think that criminals will be interested in cash? Most probably yes.
Yeah.
The second question is, can they break into the system? And what we offer is a hardware security. We have a chip. Why do we need a chip? Because we know it's proven, easy to demonstrate, that software is not enough. If you have software, you can attack the system. And don't forget that you will hold the device. You will have your phone, for example, at home, meaning you have all time to attack the system. So security is paramount, and this is typically where, with our hardware security, with our cryptographic algorithm, we bring a solution.
All right, I want to shift your focus to, you know, India has launched its digital rupee. What will it take for a central digital currency to really succeed? And are you in talks with the Reserve Bank of India? And if you could also throw some light on your India plans.
So, I mean, you're based in India. I don't know if you are conscious that the whole world is looking at India, because India is very much advanced with its digital rupee. So that's a fascinating project. So I'm not allowed too much to talk about what we are doing with the RBI because,
okay.
Okay, not public. So the digital rupee is, of course, super interesting. As you understood, our focus is more on offline. Digital rupee is already being piloted. It already works. Really, the next step is to bring it to offline payments. You know, today, again, you can pay offline, and digital cash will need to be, of course, better than cash for people to adopt it. And before it's better, it's as good. And if I can pay offline, meaning without a network connection, I can give you a note in rupees, but with the digital solution, I cannot do it. It's not good. So offline is super important, and this is what we are bringing to the
All right. Okay. Now, before I let you go, I have to talk to you about your best-selling book, Who Will Win the Cryptocurrency War? So first, tell us who's going to win it. And then secondly, why do you call it a war?
So who's going to win it? I don't know yet. We'll see.
Yeah.
It's true that the players, and why is it a war? Because, in fact, it started with the launch of Bitcoin. Suddenly Bitcoin appeared, cryptocurrency, and for the first time in history, you had a currency controlled by no one or everyone, or something, a very strange object. And for the central bank, it was like an existential threat. For the last, let's say, 200 years, they had the monopoly to create money, the money we use every day. And suddenly, Bitcoin made the promise to have a currency without authority. And then came the private currency, Facebook launching their currency. Very recently, last month, we had PayPal creating its PayPal digital dollar. So now the dollar, the US dollar, is issued by PayPal. So this is where there is this war between the anarchist, the monies like Bitcoin with no authority, the stablecoin, the private money, and the traditional government central bank money. Who will win this war? How are we going to pay tomorrow? With a digital rupee from RBI, with a private digital rupee, or with Bitcoin? So in India, it seems that RBI has an edge, but globally, it's yet to be defined.
All right. Okay. On that note, I'll have to wrap up our conversation. But many thanks, Jerome, for joining us. It was an absolute pleasure talking to you.
My pleasure. Thank you.